Welcome back. This is one you're going to want to go get your notebooks for because I'm going to break down the exact 3-part system that helped us hit 112K in sales from LinkedIn alone in just 30 days. And the best part about this is that it did not require me being live on anything, and we didn't spend a dime on ads. And I feel like everyone else out here teaching this is talking about 100K months, but they also talk about spending 20K per month on ads. And I wasn't willing to do that. If you know me, I am very stubborn about what I'm willing to do to acquire coaching clients. My name is Hannah. I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, where we help coaches, experts, and consultants enroll 3 to 10 high-ticket clients every single month using our systems for lead acquisition and sales. If you don't know that full system, we do have a video linked below that you can go and watch. It's about 50 minutes, but today I just want to zero in on what we're doing on LinkedIn, because this isn't just working for us, it's also working for our clients. I want to show you some of them today so you can really get a feel for how this might work with your coaching business and your offer. Because none of us had to go book coffee chats with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that accepted our connection requests. We also did not have to be writing newsletters every week and growing our engagement on content and posts. And we also were definitely not hosting live events or jumping on random podcasts and just hoping that someone would find our magic and want to give us their credit cards. Instead, we have a simple 3-message system that is running while I travel the world and our clients are taking care of their families and even building other businesses. This isn't a system that takes your entire life, but it has transformed mine, because I went from struggling in 75K of credit card debt, paying a bloated team, paying for ads, paying for all of these tech things that I thought I needed in order to attract clients, to now being someone who consistently has 6-figure months, which is mind-blowing to me because the goal was always just to make 6 figures in a year. But this system has transformed everything and keeps us living our dream life. I'm the Dream Life is Real Life girl. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I have a document. You can see exactly what we're doing so you can apply these simple messages to your LinkedIn strategy and just start getting clients and not waste your time spending 45 minutes making reels or trying to hire a marketing agency or banging your head against the wall like, what's my messaging? I'm going to show you what you need to implement. So let's go to the office and bring your notebook. All right, welcome in, coach. This is nothing sexy. This is literally an SOP pulled from our company, a standard operating procedure. It is a Google Doc, and it's also nothing new. Okay, I'm going to show you our CEO system for client acquisition, and the CEO is an acronym for Connect, Educate, and Engage, and Offer. And this is nothing new. You know you need to be doing these things. You know you need to be connecting, getting people to know you even exist, generate leads. Then you know you need to educate those people and give them a reason to see your value. And then you need to engage them, right? There needs to be some exchange. You need to have a call to action, and then you need to make an offer. This is how it works. This is nothing new. This is a client journey. And what you see here is our basic funnel. And I'm going to break down what all of these things mean. If you're not like a techie workflow type of person, don't worry. I'm going to talk you through this in examples and stories and screenshots so you can see this in real time. But I do need you to know that all of these things must be working together. And so many coaches actually get stuck outside of this funnel, doing things that don't even bring you attention, that don't even educate and actually give people a call to action to make an offer. Now, the marketing gurus had convinced us that doing things like hosting webinars or putting out podcasts or posting content every day is somehow going to make all of this work. But as someone who has tried all of those things and been in the game for nearly a decade, I know coaches are smart. You know that there's a simple client journey that you need to follow, and there are probably people you can hire to get you to help you, just like we're going to talk about. But it is not smart to be spending all of your energy outside of this funnel, outside of something that is designed to convert. And somewhere coaches forgot that all of this busy work and noise around marketing that we're doing or we're told to be doing actually needs to convert. And we can't just be spinning our wheels on things like spraying ads out there or making up quizzes or updating our website or getting on podcasts, again, 45 minutes a day to make a reel, or just randomly manifesting that like all of this good stuff that I'm putting into the internet universe is going to bring me clients consistently, right? There's the other way, we're like sliding into DMs, but to me, all of those shiny object marketing tactics are like sucking hopium. Hope is not a strategy. And continuing to do these things, it is just like binging drugs and doing things that do not move the needle forward, but make you feel good in the short term. Okay, yay, I put something cute out there. This was me. I've got hundreds of podcast episodes. I invested $20K in my website. I ran ads for 2 years. Like, I've tried those things, but none of them converted consistently. Whereas now with this CEO client acquisition system that I'm going to move you through today, someone comes into my world with today, and within 3 to 10 days, they're on a call with us about the program. I'm not sending them off. I'm not having these long sales cycles. I'm not waiting for the board to approve the budget. I'm simply working a client acquisition system that honestly sometimes feels illegal. Like we're just printing money, because that's how consistent and easy this really does feel once you build it. This is like the field of dreams. If you build it once, they will come. So I'm going to show you how we built this thing and how we're enjoying the consistency. So if we start at the top, the C, connect. Okay, you need to have people know you exist, not rocket science. And I found that people have figured out lots of ways to get connected. And in the coaching space, there seems to be this divide between masculine and feminine ways that people grow your visibility and you get connected with the right type of prospects. And if you've seen my other video, you can again click it below, our CEO system walkthrough. It's a bit longer than this. I will admit it is designed to sell you something. So go there knowing that you're probably going to want to jump on a call with my team after seeing it. But in that video, I do reference my own hustle bro era, where when I was just starting out, I had the bros, right? I took the sales training and I joined marketing programs with all these people who didn't look like me, but were getting amazing financial results. And I wanted those amazing financial results. So I went down the hustle bro, just play the numbers game, logic, data, hit the sidewalk, classic sales taught by salesmen. And oftentimes those strategies are more aggressive, more cold outreach, right? Sending cold DMs, putting money into the Facebook machine, and then running challenges like boot camp Facebook groups, which, by the way, who wants to do a boot camp? That does not sound enticing. I don't know why, but I tested that idea. Building funnels, right? So having these like complicated many click technology. Oh, there's a little crazy countdown that this offer is going to go away at midnight, right? All of that smoke and mirrors, really, that also is very expensive to maintain. And then the other thing that all of those strategies rely on is convincing clients to buy on sales calls. So you get them on the phone and then you have to go for the jugular and find the bleeding neck and make them cry and do all of these like really hardcore sales tactics. But then you kind of get to a point in that and you start to realize, okay, I don't need to be the one doing all of this. So then we outsource things to the Philippines and we have VAs hitting our numbers for us and sending messages daily for us, while we go spam content just to make all of this noise and this machinery maybe work better, but honestly get really heavy and really expensive in both time and energy. If you've tried that hustle bro thing, the end result for me was, yeah, okay, I had a fluke 30K month and I had clients coming in, but I also had adrenal fatigue and was living my life like this. At the time, I was supposed to be a health and success coach, and I wasn't even doing my own laundry. And I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue after a year of running that whole hustle bro strategy. So then later in my coaching career, I swung more to the feminine side where the methods are easy, convenient, just do what feels good, rely on your aligned energy and manifesting powers. And so this is where I went down the route of just networking and booking coffee chats and seeing, how could I add value? Let's book a discovery call, which just then ended up in free coaching that I didn't get paid for, or referral schemes, right? If you email your list, I'll email my list, but then you get talking to people and they have like 5 people on their email list and they're not even qualified. So why did we put together that summit or that email blast or this launch, right? You've heard me talk before. I've never believed in launches. I think this is because I grew up watching like the Apollo 11, Apollo 13 movies. And the launch is literally like NASA putting all of their resources, 9 years, billions of dollars into something that we all watch on TV and may blow up in our faces. And so to me, a launch, I was like, I'm never going to like put all my eggs in some basket to then just like hope I can put it onto Facebook. Like, I never went down that route, but a lot of people think launch life is a real strategy. Event stacking, this is another thing going around, like hosting summits or getting a bunch of people on your podcast just to do this like audience sharing, crowdsourcing kind of thing. But again, most coaches don't even have real audiences, so that's not really sustainable. Law of attraction. Oops. There was definitely a time where I just sat and manifested and journaled and waited for divine timing and figured, if it's meant for me, the universe will just hand deliver 16 clients and that's how it's going to be. Okay, no. Client acquisition systems do not fall out of the sky. I waited for 3 years and the download didn't come. I had to go build it myself. And that's honestly why I make these videos, because I know so many of you are looking and wondering, and there are not people who look like me, who have this kind of business, who are willing to tell you it doesn't take hustle broing or just siestaing. And it also doesn't take paying expensive scam agencies to do it for you, right? Just paying some retainer and having some guys take your documents and data into the dark that you never see anything from. I hear this all the time from our coaches who are jaded, who have tried this before. So I'm just going to tell you exactly what we are doing, because me relying on those kinds of scams and those marketing agencies led me to 75K in credit card debt and my worst rock bottom moment. This was about 8 years into my coaching career, not that long ago. And I was able to pull myself back up from being so jaded by both the hustle bro, I'm not willing to do that crap again, and the feminine energy, which just drove me into credit card debt because I was waiting for the right day to take action and I was paying team for no reason. And within a year and a half, now here we are on 112K in a month and 76K in 15 days, and just massive financial wins that, again, I saw the bros doing and I wanted that financial abundance for me and my family, but no one told me exactly how to actually grow my audience, to actually connect with my people. So the good news for you is that me and my business partner, Ore, went to work and we built a system leveraging AI and automations to take care of lead flow so that all you really need to do is nail your messaging. I'm going to come back to this AI and automations in a moment, because there are 3 ways that you can nail your messaging. And again, most coaches know, like, okay, I need to have a better message, like something with my marketing. So then we go and we try to change our offer. We try to put out, do you want this? Or we make polls on our Instagram thing. But the truth is, I think about coaches as Barbies, okay? And it's like you're in your box and you have all of your tools. You have your hypnosis over here and your high performance coaching over here and your financial literacy tool here. Like Barbie has her Malibu beach house and her pom-poms because she could be a cheerleader Barbie if she wants to be. And she has her lawyer outfit because Barbie goes to university, whatever. And you're in this box with all these Barbie toys and all these coaching tools. And you could just like hand them out little by little, and maybe people need this, and I can help anyone with anything. And when you're inside of the box, it's really hard to know what to put on the outside. And this is where getting outside perspective and the way we partner with our clients is that we work one-on-one to nail your messaging. And once you nail your messaging, there are 3 ways that you can go get clients. specifically on LinkedIn. And the first way is to optimize your profile to attract ready to buy high achievers. I already mentioned this, you don't want to be talking to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And Sonia, as you can see here, Sonia was someone who had a decent amount of people following her and knowing she was existing on LinkedIn, but nobody was reaching out to her to actually hire her as a coach. She would maybe get some inquiries like, hey, be on my podcast, or do you want to do the email share thing? But she was getting really frustrated because she'd been at this thing for 10 years herself. And she's like, I can't just keep waiting for these things to come to me. I need to start putting myself out there as the expert. So for Sonia, we optimized her profile in month 1, really positioning her not as the Barbie who has confidence coaching and leadership development and all these little things, but as the expert, right? And we actually positioned her not as a Barbie that you can compare to every other coach as, but actually as the expert. And she started getting inbound messages. So she has her first high ticket client signing up for this year after seeing her on LinkedIn and loving what she had content wise. Now, I'll tell you, Sonia is not posting content every day like her life depends on it. We pinned specific posts. And this too, I want you to be thinking about leverage. When you're thinking about a client acquisition system, it should not be something that you have to do every single day to just keep feeding the machine and keep it going. This should be like optimizing and pinning posts. And again, the video I have linked below will show you exactly how we optimize profiles. But for Sonia, that's all it took to have an easy yes conversation and make her dream life her real life by turning this thing on and seeing how easy it was for her to get clients just by optimizing her profile. Now, the second way is to retarget connections with the messaging that converts. So again, Sonia had a few people on her profile, but it wasn't really like the right types of people. So optimizing her profile started getting new attention, new eyeballs, and that new client. Whereas Carly here, she did have quite a few people who needed fitness, who doesn't need a health coach these days, who were following her on LinkedIn. And so we went out and we sent a message to some of her existing connections, and someone who she's known for 10 years booked a sales call and is an ideal client. And this happened with another one of our clients, Amanda. Amanda was actually posting food blogs every single day. Like, she had so much value on LinkedIn. She had lots of likes. People were like, yay, thank you for this. All her freebie hoarders loved her, but she didn't have a new client in 9 months. And again, same thing as Carly. When we took Amanda's new messaging out to some of her connections, Amanda got 3 5K clients in 1 week. And we see this because people on LinkedIn are ready for business conversations and they do have budgets, which is such a beautiful thing. And again, why we don't need to run ads or go chasing people down. We just need to give them the right message on our profile, reaching out to them, using your existing market. Or third, then layering in our software. So this is where I talked about my business partner, Ora, and I building a system that gets you above and beyond LinkedIn's connections. So if you have LinkedIn, you could connect with 100 new people per week. You'd have to go in and you'd click connect 100 times. Then you would get 100 new people that know you exist. But then LinkedIn will say, you've reached your limit for this week. And then next week, you'd have to go back and connect. Now, if you have Sales Nav, you can get up to like 200. Okay, so you can sit there and connect 200 times this week and then go again next week. But our software gets you automatic connections. You do not have to click the button for 700 to 900 per week. Per week. Just imagine if you had 700 new people coming to you every single week. Right? And then we have a simple message that gets 75% of them to reply and have inbound messaging happening. So people like Tomas are waking up to 15 positive responses. He just needs to book them for calls. And coaches, you guys know how to sell. Okay, I hear this all the time. Like, as soon as they're in front of me, I can close them, they enroll. Perfect. This is where Thomas is at as well. Now he has 15 people to go present to, pitch, give discovery calls to. With each of our clients, that application process and that conversation flow is a little bit different. But Tomas is someone who had tapped out his warm market. People were not biting on his profile. And so we said, here you go, turn on the system. And he turned around with 15 calls in a day. And also, wasn't he in an airport? Yeah, he's been on planes, airports, weddings, family gatherings, and here you go, 15 calls. Great. So now we're connecting. Now we know we can engage the audience that we have. We can help them see our value. We can give them our messaging. And now we know we can't just go from first date, okay, yay, you liked me, to, okay, let's jump in bed together. But we need to nurture, we need to court, we need to date clients, especially in 2025 when there's such a massive trust recession. And so this is where coaches again think, okay, I just need to go give people, these things. All right. So educate and engage. You need to get people to like you. And we're going to use result-driven messaging that positions you as the go-to solution. Many of the same principles that we applied for Sonia and Carly and Amanda and Tomas to actually make their profile interesting enough to respond to. But you need to engage these people. Okay, great. Now they inquired, and here's where most coaches go wrong. Now they send some cringe message. You guys have all seen this. Most of you probably are watching this video like, screw LinkedIn. All I get is a pitch fest all of the time. I get these terrible messages. Nobody looks at my profile. Okay, great. That's obviously what's not working. Right? So the other thing that's not working is killing interest by making them subscribe to your email list or come to your webinar that's 2 weeks down in the future. And then people wonder why they have long sales cycles. It's like, well, why are you making them jump through all these hoops to get on your email list and then click the next button and then remember to come and then go to your calendar and then like what you say on the webinar? Way too many chances for people to fall off of that system. Again, I know this because I lived this and I've tried these things myself, and I've sat in empty webinar rooms wondering, where are my people? And it's not, and they run away. They fall off if you wait that long of time and you make them jump through that many hoops. So the other thing that coaches will do then is just jump right into booking a free coffee chat. But then what's that? Free coaching. You just end up stacking your calendar with all of these freebie hoarders and tire kickers who love your free coaching. And maybe some of them will send you a referral. Maybe they'll invite you to your podcast. Maybe they'll say, yeah, I'd love to do this in 6 months from now. But those are not qualified leads when you just hook them in with let's have a discovery chat and I'll give you some free coaching. I had to remove that from my calendar in order to get this system to work. Another thing that I see coaches doing that feels very 2017 to me, but for some reason you guys think you have to keep doing this, is sending over Canva PDFs. And then people just look at that and they're like, okay, let me think about it. Or you'll be like, okay, take my quiz. You put in some cute thing that you made on Canva, and then you hope that that's going to convert a client when, do you know what everything else that they're seeing? They don't have time to go through your PDF. That's why they tell you the smoke and mirror thing of, let me think about it. Or can we talk about this in 2 weeks? And then they come to your call in 2 weeks and they haven't even looked at it. They don't even remember. Okay? Don't do those things. It is just a waste of your time and everyone else's. Remember, I meet someone and then we're talking within 3 to 10 days. We're not jumping through a bunch of hoops. All we do, oh yeah, this is another good one. Praying that people will go through. All right, and then one more. We pray that people are going to go through our. Okay, and then one more thing that we do that is now laughable, but I did this too, is we pray. We just think that people are going to go through our archives and read every newsletter and watch our podcasts and go find my website. We just leave that up to the internet gods, that people are going to go binge your content and fall in love with you. But the truth is they are being inundated with messages and ads, and their kid is tapping them on their shoulder, and they have 17 different places to be. So let's not give consumers that much credit that they're going to take the time to spend 7 hours of their precious time finding your value on the internet. This needs to be simple AF and evergreen. This is what I mean. I used to sit in those empty webinars. I used to make cute things in Canva. I used to hope you would watch my library of talking to the echo chamber, but I was sick and tired of that. I didn't want adrenal fatigue chasing people around. I didn't want to just wait and hope that people would show up. And so this is when I fell in love with the word evergreen, meaning it's always alive. Just like the trees. They don't go dark in winter and then have to take a bunch of time to put their leaves back on in spring. They are always ready to go. Evergreen. You don't have to do it live. You don't have to do it multiple times. You literally record a video or a message once and you send it to thousands of people, those 700 to 900 people that our system brings you every single week. And again, the key here is nailing your messaging. So you need to make sure that the message actually gets people to respond. This is why we have 75% open rates for our clients. And this is not some value, okay, I'm going to tell you 7 ways to heal your thyroid. This is not a newsletter that's like, here's how people are getting jobs in 2025, like not fluffy value. This is where most coaches go wrong. They think they need to lead with value, but then they don't get responses. Again, they get freebie hoarders. What we need to be leading with are results. Results. And this is the thing that's going to save the coaching industry. If we quit trying to put out fluffy things and freebies and quizzes and which cheese are you, but we actually show people the real transformations. I know you guys change and save and heal lives every single day. And then you turn around and you say, here's how to manage your PCOS. And you give them these Band-Aid solutions and not the full thing that they really need. Because the things you put in your content are the Band-Aids. They need to work with you. Let's be honest about that. And they need to go get real results. But most coaches are afraid to say, I helped people get pregnant. I helped people lose weight. I helped people get out of credit card debt. I helped people land their dream job and negotiate Fridays off. Like, we need to be seeing those concrete results from you coaches. And even one of our clients, Lancy, who hadn't had a paying client yet, she followed our system and she was able to share in her messaging, in her manifesto messaging, what her value was. Here she says, sharing my manifesto really shined a light for her to get my work. Feeling super excited, has a new client within a few days of nailing this messaging and taking it to a stranger on LinkedIn who didn't know Lancy, didn't know she didn't have any clients yet, but knew the value because of how Lancy was able to communicate it in her messaging. So you need to find that, right? You need to find a way to convey what results you do to people. We send a simple LinkedIn DM. Lancy has a manifesto video. You can, again, go see in our longer training which type of video and which type of message might work for you. We've got lots of really good examples there. But remember, we're going to try to sell you something. So watch with caution because you're going to want to talk to my team after that. Okay, but now the third thing of the CEO system is the offer. And this is where we let the system do the selling for us so that you only have to talk to people who do trust you. Because if you've done everything right and you've got great messaging out there on your LinkedIn profile and you're sending those messages that show your value, then you are going to have people reaching out to you. And this is where we need to remember that every sale starts with a conversation. So every message, every comment, every inbound thing on LinkedIn to us, that's a start of a sale. That's a start of a conversation because people don't engage on LinkedIn just to engage, right? They're trying to have professional development. They want to grow their network. They are hungry for high performance coaching. This is not Instagram where you have to compete with every other shiny object and TikTok dancer. These are really potent conversations on LinkedIn and a reason why you should love this platform and not be overlooking it in 2025. Now, of course, there are people on LinkedIn who are using it wrong. This is everything, right? People can even use smoothies wrong. Like, good things can go wrong, okay? But we want to make sure that our strategies are up to par with 2025 standards and what consumers are on LinkedIn actually respond to. And we know the old ways, right? Like the hustle bro thing would be cold DMs. And you see these every day. You could go show me 100 examples. In fact, one of my past clients emailed me this week and she's like, when I see these messages on LinkedIn, I just want to send everyone to Hannah because there are so many just cringy messaging, people just pitching you outright, people reaching out to you with no permission to, pitch you. There's no back and forth. It just feels gross. And if you just do that kind of messaging, obviously it's going to be a waste of your time. You're going to be sending it to a bunch of people who don't want your help. You're going to damage your brand reputation and you're going to be very unproductive because you're just going to be jamming your head again down this same data set, why isn't my messaging working loophole. So it's going to drain your energy, obviously, but then it's also very hard to close them on sales calls. So even if you do get some cringy DM to book you a call, how do you think the call is going to go? Well, it's probably going to be cringy because they responded to some message that wasn't authentic, that wasn't clever, that wasn't actually thought out. Or again, we've talked about the other thing where then, okay, well, then I need to really warm them up and I really need to give them a lot of value. So you're going to do the feminine thing where you bend over backwards and make them do a bunch of things or take a bunch of commitments because you have this quiz and that thing. And have you heard about this? And should we, talk more? But there's no unique positioning here and no guarantee that people are actually going to show up. We've talked about these things before. So our process for making offers is to not do all of that hullabaloo. Again, cutting all of the old ways out because we know they don't work. I am living proof. And you guys, I am someone who, if you give me the system, like I'm going to do it to the point of giving myself adrenal fatigue, or I'm going to believe so hard in the law of attraction that I'm going to go 75K deep in credit card debt. I go to these extremes, thank you higher power for this gift, so that I can show you the middle ground. And I can actually teach this with integrity and having this lived experience that you must simplify. There's a middle ground here, and it's an application. You've probably thought about this. You've probably been like, oh, I just wish people would apply. I wish I could hand pick. I wish I had a wait list. I wish I was in demand and coveted. Right. So create an application process, because all of these other things that you're doing are positioning you to be in demand and to be an expert and not be competing against other commodities, other coaches who say, oh, I have a resume, right? When I talk about commodities, I mean it's comparable on a shelf. These are our Barbies that you can look at and be like, okay, that's Malibu Barbie, that's career coach Barbie, that's high performance coach Barbie. Who has a cheaper price? Who's going to give me more of what I want? That's what a consumer does when they're looking at coaches right now. But we elevate our coaches to not be positioned as a commodity, but rather be positioned in a league of their own, as an easy yes. Again, this is why people reach out to our clients even before they turn on the automations that we have. So to people who reach out to you or reply, you're going to offer an application that leads to a sales call. And you're going to look at that application. We just use Calendly because you can ask questions on your calendar. So have someone book that discovery call with you, but ask some qualifying questions. And if they sound like an ideal client, show up to the call and do your thing. Coaches, you know how to sell. If they're a good fit, you don't have to try to force them. This is the advantage of actually being a CEO. And the difference between a coach and a CEO is that a CEO has a real business and these systems backing them. Whereas a coach is stuck in marketing weeds, la la land, am I going to hustle, bro, or take a nap? No system. So then they're just in reactionary mode and have to take every client that comes by them with a pulse. Whereas it is able to look at this system and know I have 15 more calls next week. I'm going to hand select which applications I want to talk to. And then you go, again, work your magic. So this is very simple and straightforward, and you can be making offers every single day. This is how we had 9 clients in 1 month while I was traveling the world and not sitting on calls all the time and not hosting webinars or wondering if my podcast was going to convert. One of our clients, Ricky, who again is here on the YouTube channel, he said it feels like a radio dial. He said it's like the leads are like a machine of a pipeline that could bring me the right people and I can turn it up and down, because this hardly feels like selling. It's a pipeline. Now you finally know where your people are. This is a beautiful thing for your mindset to not only be, you're going to be a coach because that's your zone of genius, but to actually come from a place of real coaching, real integrity, working with these people because they know your value. They came through a process. They applied. So how we do this application process is we do have them fill out that Calendly form, book a time with me or my team, and then we have them watch an evergreen sales asset that's Loom, kind of like this. You could be walking through your process. Other people will call this a video sales letter. And this helps, again, qualify people before they book the call. They're already interested in something that you're doing in the connecting and the engaging phase, but we make sure that they also see a video. And that's the video I've been referencing down below. It's our 50-minute Loom that I recorded over a year ago that has now helped us make more than $700K from LinkedIn alone, just one platform, one video, one time. And it continues to print money for us. I'm not taking sales calls with people who are kicking tires and, oh, are you like every other marketing agency? I don't trust you. No, our process pre-sells them, pre-frames them, pre-qualifies them. So we just get to show up and enroll and do the thing that we know how to do as coaches and experts and consultants. So what this system does is all the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to build a bunch of tech. You don't have to come up with some amazing webinar idea. You don't have to babysit leads or hope that they actually follow up in 3 months or wonder why they keep giving you ghost smoke and mirrors. It's just like a very clear decision. Like, do you want to do this now or not? Right? So same thing with our client Eileen here. So Eileen turned things on. Her conversion stats are awesome. Okay, above the level we're looking for. Great. New client paid in full and signed her contract on Monday. Eileen had struggled to get people to even pay $600 for her course. And now she's able to charge $5K with people who she didn't even know a week ago. And they're paying in full. And she continues to move leads to her Calendly, following up. Amazing. And then here's Caitlin. She closed 6K before 6 p.m. on her day off. We're supposed to be off today, but she went ahead and closed 2 clients, and I still have another call to go. This is a dream life. You are living your life. Yeah, okay, you can have a day off. And how about we go make 6K as well? Because the system hums in the background of our lives and our genius. You don't have to put all of your time into marketing in order to have a business. You need to take a few months, 3 to 6 months to actually build this system out, nail your messaging, plug it into LinkedIn, and then go print money. Like, is it legal to say that? Okay. So here is the recap for getting clients on LinkedIn and how we got 9 in the month of April. Number 1, we connect. So optimize that profile, nail your messaging, and then turn on, we have AI software for our clients so that you can be ensuring connections. Now, if you don't have our software, then go make yourself a LinkedIn date like it's the dentist. I know it's painful, but go in there and click, connect, and start to see how people react to your profile. And then make sure you have an engaging message. So step number 2, the E, use messaging people like and lead with results. Get them to reply back by showing them your true value, leading with results, just like Lancey did. And then make your offer. So send them a longer form video that's a true walkthrough of your system, how you get people those results. Maybe you have some case studies. Maybe you just tell your own story. Of course, there's a lot of strategy that goes into the ones that we build. They are designed to sell you something. So let them do the heavy lifting so that you only have to speak with the people that actually want to work with you. And I promise you, if you follow this system, if you go watch the video below, you will see consistent clients coming in. But I also have to be honest with you. This is not for everyone. This is not for people who want some quick fix, cash injection so I can go buy my Lamborghini. This is going to take time of really thinking about what is your value? What is your message? And if you're inside of the Barbie box, again, that's a challenge. And that's why people like me and my business partner, Ore, exist. And our life's purpose is to birth more CEOs into the world because most coaches are relying on their referrals and people who you haven't really had to sell to because they came to you because someone else told them to. And who knows what your other clients are telling them, right? We all start with friends and family. It's a very natural way to run a business. Okay. Start with your warm market, who you know. But then as you keep doing more of that, you just keep taking what comes to you and you're in that reactionary coach phase of making up different offers and just getting money out of whoever you can so you can fill your client roster. But to have a sustainable business and know where your next client's going to come from in 2 years from now, after you've already worked with all your friends and family and your corporate pipeline is dried up because you left your job in corporate. I know you coaches, this is what you do. You have a great network, but it will run out. And so we want to make sure that you have a client acquisition system to keep your life's work going. And you need a system. You need a system. And this is the most simple one that I've found that is working not only for us to have 9 new clients in a month, but you've seen the other results here today. And so if you're someone who knows I can't keep relying on my own manifesting powers or my own network, then you know what to do. Click the link below, see the full system walkthrough, and decide if this is something that you want to do. Because if you do take action and you are the type of person who decides to build something that's bigger than you and moves you beyond the comfort zone that you're in right now, these videos will actually change your life. But obviously, action is what creates real change in our lives. So I want to know in the comments below, what action are you taking? And if it's to go watch our other video, then thumbs up. Hopefully we'll be having a conversation with you soon so that you can implement this long-term and not be taking keep me busy post on Instagram actions, but actions that actually move the needle forward, get your work into the lives of real people, and get you paid well. All right. Cheers to growth. Dream life is real life.